the podcast.
We're not in the fairy tale business as journalists. We're in the truth business, and the question was there.
20 minutes, 5 days a week, the Indo Daily takes you beyond the headlines and into Ireland's most talked about stories.
So 25 years on, people are absolutely fascinated again with this case.
The Indo Daily podcast, available on Spotify, Apple, independent.ie and wherever you get your podcasts.
Spoil them with style this Christmas at Hanley & Co Menswear. Shop the latest collections from Tommy Hilfiger, Eden Park, Calvin Klein, Hugo Boss and more. Shop now at hanley.ie.
Arnott's Christmas Mega is now on, and it's too big to contain, with 20% off almost everything. Something this mega won't stick around for long. Arnott's Christmas Mega must end Monday. See arnotts.ie for details.
For those who build tomorrow, the only constant is change. Volkswagen Commercial Vehicle Leasing can change how you think about van ownership and is available across our range of vehicles from €258 per month. There's no deposit, tyres and maintenance are included, you pay an affordable fixed monthly rental. Drive it, work it, replace it. That's leasing. It frees up capital to invest in your business. For those who embrace change, the time is now with Volkswagen Commercial Vehicle Leasing. Visit volkswagenvans.ie/leasing for further information. Terms and conditions apply.
Nothing beats watching someone unwrap a Clayton Hotels gift card where they'll find romantic dates, family breaks, heavenly sleeps, delicious treats, cocktails, yes please, afternoon teas, swimming pool dips, gym memberships, luxury spa days, simply amazing stays, and 48 fabulous hotels across Ireland and the UK. This Christmas, give the gift of wonderful experiences. Buy your gift cards now at claytonhotels.com.
Get 5% off VHI First Care plans and unlock a wide range of healthcare services when you buy online and start your policy between November 25th, 2021 and March 31st, 2022. Search VHI 5% to join today. Terms and conditions apply. VHI Healthcare DAC trading as VHI Healthcare is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
The GAA Club Championship Review on OTB Sports.
In partnership with AIB, proud sponsors of the Football, Hurling and Camogie All-Ireland Club Championships.
Yeah, welcome back. So we're going to look back on the club action from the weekend. There was plenty of hurling to the fore. So in particular, Ballygunner of Waterford have booked their place in the Munster semi-final now. They beat declared champions Ballyer on a scoreline of 320 to 2-6 in Ennis yesterday. Very comprehensive. And Kilmacud Crokes of Dublin, they're into the last four, and Leinster in the hurling. They're still in the mix for a Leinster double in the football and the hurling, which would be quite something. They beat Raharney of Westmeath 5-19 to 15 points in the quarterfinals in Mullingar yesterday. And there's obviously an interesting story brewing as well in Loughmore-Castleiney and Tipperary, a double in the football and the hurling, which we'll come to in a second. 14 odd players duel across both codes. Tommy Rooney of OTB fame, OTB AM fame in particular, is with us. Hello.
Evening, Joe. How you doing?
Have you warmed up yet?
Oh, since yesterday. Do you know what, Joe? I felt bad. I was obviously, well, I wasn't obviously. I was complaining to you yesterday about how cold it was in the crow's nest, as Sil O'Connor, the famous Clare FM commentator, would call it, above Cusick Park. It was quite cold watching the Ballygunner game, and then I got home and I was in the warmth of the sitting room here. And I watched Match of the Day too, and I couldn't believe. I had no idea the snow was so bad over in the UK. So, it wasn't that bad in the grand scheme of things. So I'm fine now.
So, Ballygunner of Waterford, Ballyer of Clare. Ballygunner won Munster back in 2018. Ballyer were 2016 Munster champions. So we had two teams here with a bit of pedigree.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I was hoping for a game similar to the one that they had a couple of years ago in the Munster semi-final back in 2018. Ballygunner won in Ennis after extra time against Ballyer. So it was nothing like that this time around. Ballygunner were incredibly impressive. They wiped the floor with Ballyer throughout, Joe. And from start to finish, Ballygunner were in complete control.
Yeah. I know you were speaking to their manager afterwards, Darragh O'Sullivan, so you were making the point to him that they were 8 weeks without a game, quite a long time. So how do you keep them focused, keep them energised and enthusiastic about the whole affair?
Yeah, but look, to be honest with you, the lads are energised by Munster Championship, and that's, we had no opportunity last year to play Munster Championship. So look, you know what I mean, 2 years ago we were obviously beaten in a Munster final, and the lads are really, really look forward to Munster Championship games, and they probably played our best hurling in Munster. Like there was games in Waterford this year where, we barely got over the line in some games. Maybe Waterford hurling is a little bit stronger than people think at club level. You know what I mean? A lot of people kind of talk down on Waterford hurling, Waterford club hurling, saying that it's not at a level because we've won 8 championships in a row. But I can tell you one thing. Every year we've won those 8 championships, we've improved, and we'll try and improve again next year, because we don't, we'll be beaten in Waterford, and that's, I stand over, the strength of Waterford club hurling, to be honest, even though some people from the outside mightn't agree with me.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the 4 Mahoney boys? Obviously Porrick was brilliant on the freeze. Philip, how important was that to get 50 minutes into him today?
Sure, listen, like Philip has had 2 leg breaks this year, like to come back from the injuries he's had. You look at Parry coming back from a crucial injury. You look at Kevin today, was exceptionally youngest of them. I think Mikey got man of the match. You know what I mean? Like they're all phenomenal guys, you know what I mean? But there's loads of them in that dressing room, you know what I mean? You've like Barry Coughlin, giant captain full-back, and other outstanding guys. Saki, Shane, there's loads of them there, you know what I mean? I better stop mentioning them now, or people will realize you didn't mention me. But listen, look, you know what I mean? Look, we're lucky. We're lucky to have leaders in the dressing room. We're lucky to have leaders in the club, and those guys are mainly one of the main group of people that are driving this thing on,
Darragh Sullivan there, a voice twin of Derek McGrath. That wasn't Derek McGrath you were talking to, no?
Sounded very similar and very impressive after the game as well. And very impressive that he had his team ready to go in that manner, Joe, because 8 weeks out of the game is insane. And speaking to Tony Kelly, I was speaking to Tony afterwards as well. Tony's obviously injured. He's missed Bally's last 3 games, and an unbelievable loss, and probably explained a little bit of why the gap was so wide yesterday in comparison to 2018. But Tony was like, they hadn't met anything like they'd seen with Ballygunner so far. So whether that tells a tale about the Clare Championship more so than the Waterford Championship, I don't know the strength of it. And Darragh Sullivan was at pains to point out that the Waterford Championship doesn't get the credit it deserves at times. So
yeah, he sure was. So he mentioned the Mahoney boys there. Philip Mahoney, 2 leg breaks and still back and able to play it all. So that's extraordinary. And then Porrick Mahoney is still trying to get to the pitch of things, I would presume, after his cruciate injury. Missed most of last year. So how was he looking?
Porrick Mahoney was very, very good. He was really good. Now, he was very, very good on the freeze. But in normal play as well, he had a massive influence. When you have a free taker like Porrick Mahoney, it's so important in hurling. He was slotting them over. I think he missed 1, but we'll give him that one. And he scored 1 from playing as well. But Porrick was the Waterford captain last year and did his cruciate, I think. Could have been a week before the championship kicked off for Waterford, and obviously missed the All-Ireland final run. So he was a massive loss, and he's back. And Philip was back just from the semi-final. I think he broke his leg for the 2nd time. So it was massive for Ballygunner to get him back in action. But it was the younger brother, Kevin and Mikey, 2 younger brothers that really stood out. Joe, Mikey was man of the match. He scored 1-2, and he was really, really good.
Right. What kind of crowd was in Ennis, Tom?
Well, I was from where there wasn't a huge crowd across from where I was. I don't actually know what it was like in the main stand beneath me, but it was small enough, Joe. Like it was live in TG Car, so I wonder did that keep people away. I apologise. Bailey's going nuts here in the back.
Would you not take Bailey for a bloody walk? No.
I've looked after Bailey all weekend.
It doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like Bailey has a few things to say about your care.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to try and do a couple of magic tricks here to get him to stop. So, sorry about that.
Hashtag rescue Bailey. Let's get this going on Twitter. Let's get the authorities in to check things out. So that was Ballygunner. They've beaten Ballyer. They will play Loughmore-Castleiney in the semi-final. So in Munster now, it's very interesting. A lot of teams which kind of catch the eye. Ballygunner against Loughmore-Castleiney. The other semi-final will be Kilmallock of Limerick. They're the champions against Middleton of Cork. So on Loughmore-Castleiney, this is kind of the romantic, everything you kind of picture when you think of a quintessential GAA club of the community, drawing from maybe 1,000 parishioners, and they have 3 adult hurling and football teams this season, and they have done the double in Tipperary. This is freakish.
It's absolutely unbelievable. Freakish is probably the word. And I see Dahi has it down on the notes there that Michael Dempsey's working with them this year, and I hadn't realised that. I think he's putting that down as one of the reasons why they've been able to go for 17 weekends in a row in Championship hurling and football. It's going to be 19 weekends in a row once they play Ballygunner in 2 weeks' time. They're playing Éire Óg of Ennis and Cusack Park next Sunday, I think, in the football. It's just unbelievable, John. I know you mentioned earlier on that there's 14 players who started both last weekend. So, 14 players played in both. There's 10 players who started both finals. So yeah, it's just unbelievable. They were the first Tip team to ever win the double back in 2013, so it's not done that often. And like, just looking back, I didn't know a huge amount about the parish or the club. I read the same that you read earlier on, but it seems like they were primarily a football parish back in the day. Like, they have 14 titles in total and only 4 hurling titles overall. So once the McGraths come in, though, they're hurlers by birth, I think you could say. So they've obviously had an unbelievable influence in there as well. Did you see the stat at the weekend that in the last 2 weekends, 17 out of 18 McGrath cousins have won a championship medal in the last 2 weekends? Between Camogie with Drum and Inch and Loughmore-Castleiney. I think
the Persod who's 18. Who's the Persod who's 18?
I'll find out for it now in a second. I'll get it in the clip.
We should get the McGrath on who hasn't. That'd be the interview to do.
100%.
Just to put it into context, because it's tempting to say, oh, well, dual players at the top level of club hurling and football are everywhere. Like, they're not really, because I was reading a piece which said, so of the 18 Loughmore-Castleiney players who featured in the drawn hurling final against Sarsfields a few weeks back, 14 played the next week against Commercials in the county football final. So that's 14 who featured in both week on week. Like, you compare that to Kilmacud Crokes, who did the Dublin double. Just one player features across both squads. And then I saw Naas mentioned as well. They're making big strides in both the hurling and the football as well in the Leinster Championship. They have just 2 players who are featuring for both teams. So to have 14 week on week in finals, now that is nuts.
It's absolutely incredible. And in ways I can I just make a point here before Bailey starts barking again? He's actually taking advantage of me, Joe, because he knows that I've got a couple of treats here with me.
I just want you to feed the dog.
I've made an error here. I brought them with me. Like, what it says about the 14 players. What I might say about like a club like Ballyea, they have a couple of players who come from different parishes. So they might have lads from Clondigad, which is Gary Brennan's club, coming in, and they'd be football and they'd be coming in playing hurling. And they've lads from other clubs as well coming over. And then you hear about the divisional teams down in Kerry, like St. Brendan's, who lost to Austin Sachs a couple of weeks ago. They'd only had a couple of training sessions together all year. Whereas these lads clearly are training week in, week out together, hurling and football. It must be amazing. It must be absolutely unbelievable fun to be playing like that, flat out. And it must help to do it that way. Like a club like Kilmacud are a freak. Like, they're so big that they're able to have just one player from both.
Yeah. Well, I guess Castlemore have to work it both ways. I mean, if there's that many playing both, then the 2 managers almost have to cooperate, whereas in a club the size of Kilmacud, as you're saying, it's like 2 separate entities almost, whereas Loughmore don't have that luxury. So look, it's really interesting. The McGraths versus the Mahonys is a nice way to pitch up that Munster semi-final. Tom, we're out of time. I'd like to thank Bailey and you for your contributions this evening.
Thanks, Joe. I'm sorry about that.
Come on. Is the football pod still going strong? Talk to us.
It is actually. We're recording episode 29. Can't believe there's 29 episodes down in a little while. Paddy Cunningham, the former Antrim footballer, he just retired this weekend he stepped away the first time, but he came back after a 6-year hiatus. He actually revealed he had Crohn's disease when he first stepped away. So he's been playing for Antrim for the last 2 years under Enda McGinley. Only came back for 1 year in 2020, but when McGinley and Stephen O'Neill came in, he was so excited he couldn't step away. He's got a wand of a left foot, and we've been raving about him a couple of times in the pod this year. He's going to join us. And he's got his fixtures for Leitrim for next year in the championship. Whip-de-woo. We're all really excited for the championship, aren't we, Joe?
No, yeah.
So we might mention that at the end.
When is the treacherous Andy Moran stepping down from the pod? Or is he?
Joe, like, I can't. I'm not going to be drawn on that at the minute. No comment. No comment.
Bailey knows. So. Bailey. 2 barks yes, 1 bark no.
Don't call him again.
Tommy,
settle down.
We'll talk to you. Come on. Cheers. Tommy Rooney there with the latest on the Club Championship, which is brought to you here in Off the Ball by AIB, proud sponsors of the Football, Hurling and Camogie All-Ireland Club Championships. And you can check out hashtag the toughest. It's hard to say that. Hashtag the toughest for more.
The GAA Club Championship Review on OTB Sports.
In partnership with AIB, proud sponsors of the Football, Hurling and Camogie All-Ireland Club Championships.
At Tesco, nothing's stopping us this Christmas. Try our Tesco finest Irish whole and half leg of lamb, now half price. Or stock up on Tesco Irish potatoes 1 kg, 49 cent. And Tesco lemon and lime 5-pack, 89 cent. And celebrate with 33% off over 200 wines, like Oyster Bay Sauvignon Blanc on Campo Viejo Tempranillo, 75 cl. Book your Christmas home delivery